Jimbo Paris, and you are listening to The Jimbo Paris Show. All right, how's it going, everyone? This is Jimbo Paris. Welcome back to The Jimbo Paris Show. And today we have Brandon Leibowitz, owner of SEO Optimizers. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Okay, great. So, first of all, did I pronounce your name properly?
Yeah, it's Brandon Leibowitz.
Leibowitz. Okay, good. So yeah, let's begin. Can you tell me a bit about what you specifically do?
Well, I do search engine optimization. Well, help people get more traffic to their website using digital marketing so people could find you online. So usually try to tap into that free traffic from Google by getting you ranked on Google using search engine optimization.
Okay. And how long have you actually been in the industry?
For about 15 years now. So been first got involved in 2007.
Okay. And what's sort of the history of your career? How long have you kind of been doing this? And why did you start doing it?
I've been doing it since 2007 and just kind of fell into it. Wasn't planning on it, but got my degree in business marketing. And the first job I got out of school was helping a company doing their digital marketing. And after working there for a few months, just realized everyone's probably gonna have a website in the future. And there's a lot of different ways to get traffic, but SEO is just a way to get free traffic, and just focused on that ever since. And that was back in 2007.
Okay. And were there any sort of deeper motivations on why you started a career doing online work?
It was just the first job I got, and I was just happy to get a job out of college. And yeah, I was just happy to get any job out of college in relation to marketing, and digital marketing was the first one I got. And after that, just realized that's probably the future and just kept going with it because everyone's probably gonna have a website, which is true nowadays. For the most part, everyone has a website and has that web presence.
Okay, and well, let's start with a few simple questions here. What is SEO?
So SEO is search engine optimization, which means optimizing websites for the search engines. Which really means just ranking on Google primarily. That's the main search engine. So when you search on Google, there's ads at the top. Those are all paid ads, but right below the ads are the organic, the free listings. And SEO is getting you in those free listings.
Okay. And you have keywords that you can choose from, right? So how do you sort of choose those specific keywords?
Well, you want to spy on the competitors, see what they're using. And there's a bunch of different ways to look at the competitors. Like I can see everything you're doing, you can see everything I'm doing. So basically looking in the coding at the competitors' websites, I can see all the keywords that they're putting in there. But also there's tools such as like a Google Keyword Planner. It's a free tool where you put a keyword in there and it'll give you hundreds of variations of synonyms, plurals, singular versions, and it'll show you how many people search for that keyword every single month. So you can figure out, is this a good keyword or is this a bad keyword? But got to start off with keyword research. It is one of the most important starting points.
Speaking of starting points, what do you think is one of the most important things to focus on when it comes to SEO?
Probably having good content on your website, making sure every page has content, meaning text, not images or videos, but text. Google can't really read images or videos yet. They're getting better at it, but they rely heavily on text. The more text you have, the easier it is for them to read, understand, and rank you for the correct keywords. So content is so very important. And this needs to be on every page on your website, not just the home page, but every page that you want to rank needs a couple hundred words of content on each page to really help Google understand what keywords you're targeting.
Okay. You know, I was sort of analyzing the way you look at things and communicate with me too. And you seem like a very technical guy. You seem to be someone who enjoys, sort of those small details and really getting things down perfectly. Where do you think that disposition came from, if I'm even correct?
No, just always want to make sure things are done right, because otherwise you're going to have to backtrack, and I'd rather just get things done the first time versus after going in and re-editing and changing things up. But there are a lot of details. There's like over a couple hundred ranking factors that go into Google's algorithm. So, but some are more important than others. It's like a puzzle. You want to put all the pieces together, but some pieces are much bigger than others. Like the content is a very big, important piece of Google's algorithm.
There is an interesting point there. What do you mean by it's like a puzzle?
Well, there's a bunch of different pieces. So imagine if you have a puzzle and there might be 500 pieces to that puzzle. Maybe one piece might be a little bit bigger than other pieces, and you want to put them all together to make it all work. But some are going to be having a bigger impact. So the bigger pieces would be like content. It's a big piece. Backlinks are a big part of the algorithm. Then there's all these little tiny pieces all over the place that help out but don't have as much of an impact.
Okay. Now, how did it feel when you had your first ever client?
It was pretty nice to get a client. It was a good feeling because it's tough, especially back in 2007. Nobody really knew what SEO is or understood the value of it. So it was really, really tough to get people to want to do SEO. Nowadays, everyone seems to realize I need to be online. Otherwise, my competitors are going to be getting that traffic. But it was definitely nice to be able to finally get a competitor or get a client and see that the freelance life could potentially be something I could take on as a full-time career.
So you were pretty certain you could deliver with that first ever client. You didn't feel any imposter syndrome, none of that.
I mean, it was new, so I wasn't too in depth with SEO. I was only working maybe for like a year or a little bit less than a year, but I knew what was working, what wasn't working, but who knows what was going to happen in the future. That was the unknown, where it's like, all right, is it still going to work? Because I don't know how Google works, or I don't know how Google's going to change in the future, which they change pretty much every single day, their algorithm. But yeah, it was a little scary at first, but after a while, it wasn't that scary because I saw that I was getting results and getting traction and getting the growth that they were looking for.
And speaking of clients, what was the most notable client you've had?
Probably working with like Fortune 500 companies, maybe like working with like big casinos or big manufacturing companies, or they just create general products and ship it out everywhere. But working with like Fortune 500 or Fortune 100 companies, but I don't know if I could say their names for privacy policies, but worked with a bunch of big corporations like that. And it's kind of interesting seeing behind the scenes what's really going on and how they're spending their money, what's working, what's not working, and looking at all the data because they're getting tens of thousands of visitors to the website every single day, sometimes hundreds of thousands.
You think working with these types of clients sort of puts you on a higher level than some of the other SEO optimizers that may just be helping out, a random small business?
A little bit, but for SEO, it's always the same strategies. It's just
Mhm.
changing the keywords from one website to another. So if I'm working with a mechanic, I'll focus on mechanic related keywords. If I'm helping a doctor, I'll focus on health related keywords. But for the most part, the SEO strategies are the same. It's just making sure you do things the way that Google wants. Same with the backlinks, building the right type of backlinks that are relevant and authoritative to that specific industry.
Now, obviously, you have a lot of notable clients, and I think it was very important that you said those things, and I asked you that question. But what makes you different from other SEO optimizers? What puts you on that level above some of those other optimizers?
No, so with SEO, it's all about backlinks, getting
Mm.
other websites to talk about you. The more websites that talk about you, the more trust Google's going to give to you. And then they look at the keywords on your website to figure out what to rank you for. But it doesn't work the other way around. Without backlinks, it's pretty much impossible to rank on Google. Google's whole algorithm started based off backlinks, still heavily based on backlinks to this day. It's changed a lot how they look at them, but still, Google wants to see other websites talking about you. So, like if you're reading an article in the LA Times and it says Brandon Leibowitz, and you click on that and it goes to my website, I got a backlink from the LA Times. So, with Google, the whole algorithm first started with backlinks and making sure you build good quality backlinks. Because if you build the wrong type of backlinks, instead of ranking higher, you actually drop down in rankings. And a lot of companies don't really build backlinks or build low quality backlinks or spammy ones, which will work temporarily. But once Google sees that you're building these low quality backlinks, They're going to drop you, or a competitor is going to let Google know. They're going to drop you down in rankings. And worst case scenario, they'll kick you off Google permanently, which I haven't really seen that happen too often, but it's all about making sure you do the right things. Because if you do the wrong things, you're negatively going to be impacted by Google. So that's a big part, is making sure that I build quality backlinks to my clients' websites, because without that, it's pretty much impossible, or it's not going to be able to rank those websites.
Mm-hmm. Could you maybe elaborate on how you maybe work with or build some of these backlinks? I'm pretty confident too many people are not going to be able to perfectly replicate what you're doing here, but yeah.
No, there's a ton of different ways to build backlinks, but it's all about quality, not quantity. So in the past, if I had 100 backlinks and you had 200 backlinks, you would rank higher than me. But now it's not the number of backlinks, it's the number of quality sites. And a quality site is a site that's related to you and authoritative. So like if you're, let's say, like a mechanic and you're getting a backlink from a doctor, that looks a little weird. Like, why is this doctor linking out to a mechanic? But if you're a mechanic and you get another mechanic linking out to you, or anything that's somewhat related, that makes more sense to Google. So relevancy is really important, and there's a lot of different ways to get those backlinks. The easiest is finding competitors. Just like I could see your keywords, I could also see your backlinks using different tools such as Ahrefs or Moz or SEMrush. You have to pay for these tools, but I could throw any website in there and see every single backlink they have, and then one by one, look at their backlinks, see which ones are relevant, authoritative, and try to reach out to those sites. Maybe they wrote an article, they did a press release, they did a blog, maybe they did a sponsored event, or there's a million different ways they could get those backlinks. It's all about just spying on the competitors, because the competitors, whoever's on that first page of Google, that's your competition. And looking at those backlinks is going to let you know what they did to get to that level. And if you replicate and incorporate the right type of backlinks, you'll be able to move up as well.
Excellent, excellent. And as an SEO optimizer, what's your opinion or take on social media? And is it really, the best thing for business as a whole?
Well, social media is just a way to put a face behind the company, build trust. But if you're looking to get new clients, social is probably not the place to go. Well, it just depends on your business. If you're like, let's go back to like a doctor or a lawyer or a dentist or an SEO company, probably not going to be looking for me on Facebook or Instagram. I mean, maybe you might look for a dentist on Instagram, but I doubt it. Most people are probably going to go on Google, search on Google or Yelp, find you, then check you on social to make sure that you're a real business, that you have reviews, status updates, that you have all the things that show that you're a real, legitimate, credible business. So social is more to put a face behind the company, but it works sometimes. Like if you have physical products that could go viral, that works really well. Or if you have a new product that no one's really searching for, then you can't really do SEO, because if no one's searching for your product or service, you got to build that awareness. And social is a great way to build awareness, but usually people are probably going to go on Google first. But it just depends. You got to take a step back and think about, if you're looking for your product or service, where would you go? And that's where you need to be. You don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be in front of your audience at the right moment.
Now, you just mentioned some golden piece of advice right there. You just need to be where your audience is. You don't need to be everywhere, and how did that personally, impact your business career?
Well, it made things easier, because instead of having to be on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn, all these sites, these social media sites, it's picking and choosing where is my audience. Like for myself, most of my audience is not really on social, but I still have a presence on there, but I'm not focused heavily on it, because social could be a big waste of time if you're trying to post on all these different platforms every single day to keep it updated. But once I figured out, gotta be in front of your audience, that's where I was really able to hone in and focus more on Google for myself, trying to rank on Google and Yelp for myself. But it just depends. Every industry is going to be slightly different. But for mine, I know Google and Yelp bring in the majority of traffic, but people still search for me and check me out on YouTube and all these other platforms. So having some presence there helps out, but not focusing too much, and just really focusing heavily on where my audience is.
So kind of just to jump back, because again, you're throwing out a lot of great gems here. Can you kind of go more into SEO optimizers a bit? What was sort of the motivation behind SEO Optimizers? Because obviously you must have seen some type of value in the market. You don't look like a person that would just jump into SEO Optimizers without some level of high research or confidence that it would work.
No, once I got that first job back in 2007, I was at the entrepreneurial spirit and realized I could get freelance clients while working full time. And that's really what piqued my interest, is being able to work and also build up my own business at the same time without any conflict of interest or double dipping or anything like that. And yeah, that was the main thing that really got me interested in it. And then watching businesses grow and succeed and get them to that next level is always a great feeling.
So what's sort of the big idea, or maybe we should say the future plan? Because with the world becoming more digitized and growing, of course, what is the future of SEO Optimizers?
Well, the future of SEO is interesting. We'll have to see. Ever since I first got into SEO, everyone said SEO is dead, SEO is dying out. This is back in 2007. So as long as there's search engines and people are searching, SEO is not going to disappear or go anywhere. But who knows what's going to happen in the future? If search engines are gone, or if we're in this metaverse or somewhere else, and there's no searching, then it's going to be slightly different. But for the time being, as long as there's search engines, and there probably will be search engines in the future, they're just going to be different than what we know of right now. But there's always ways to optimize and try to get to the top of those platforms. Like I could optimize for Yelp, I could optimize for Amazon, rank you on YouTube. It's not just ranking you on Google. It's just anywhere that you could search, there's an algorithm, and just trying to tap into that and figure out how it works and trying to get you that visibility and get you that exposure. But for the time being, just keep building it up, the company, and trying to grow it as much as I can.
Excellent. And you kind of talked about this a lot before, but maybe just to elaborate a bit more, what should a startup do in general to have the best online presence? You mentioned backlinks before. You mentioned going to where your audience is, but kind of maybe just to go into it completely now. What do you think?
Well, the best is having good content on your website and having a strong backlink profile are what's going to help you if you're looking to rank organically and get that free traffic from Google. Those are two more important things. There's a lot of other variables that go into it, but if you focus on those two things, you'll definitely see some traction and see yourself moving up those rankings. You can focus on a lot of the other things, they're not going to have that big of an impact, but content and backlinks are so very important.
Now, when we jump into digital marketing, maybe sort of selling something as any business, what do you think is the best approach to that?
Just being in front of your audience at the right time. You got to figure out what you're selling and who your audience is going to be and where they're going to be browsing around. Are they going to be on Google? Are they going to be on social media? Are they going to be watching TV? Are they going to be on forums? Are they going to be in Facebook groups? Wherever they're at, you get to be in front of them. That's really the number one thing, is just trying to figure out or take a step back as a business owner and try to figure out who your audience is and where are they, because it's tough if you're a business owner to take a step back, but that's really so beneficial.
Okay. And, before all of this, before you even started SEO optimization, did you ever run any other businesses before? Did you ever do anything entrepreneurship based beforehand, or was this a first time thing?
No, I had a clothing company in high school. Loved skateboarding, so I made a little skateboard company and did that for a little while. But when I went to college, kind of stopped focusing on that, even though I should have kept both going to school and keeping the company going. But really just focused on my education, which looking back, I wish I kept the company going because it was growing. People liked it, and it was all over the place, down a bunch of stores and things like that. But I always had that entrepreneurial spirit where I knew I wanted to have my own company eventually one day, and the SEO was just a way to tap into that and get me back into entrepreneurial spirit after college. But yeah, I wasn't really planning on the SEO. Really enjoyed the skateboarding a little bit more.
Okay. Skateboarding, huh? What do you like about skateboarding?
Just like going around, jumping down stairs and things like that, and jumping around, and just that freedom that you get from skateboarding. Well, used to. Don't do it as much as I used to anymore. Can't really jump down as many stairs or jump down rails and things like that because gotta be careful. If I get hurt, my hands get hurt, it's not a good sign. So that's one thing where I kind of took a step back and still do it, but not as much as I used to, unfortunately, because just don't want to get hurt. That concrete is unforgiving.
So you have a bachelor's in business marketing. How was it like getting your degree? Did you think your degree kind of carried over and gave you better business experience as a whole?
Yeah, it was helpful, I guess. I don't know if you really need to go to school for what I'm doing because there is no education, or I mean, maybe nowadays they have classes. I mean, I teach classes at General Assembly, which is like a digital marketing school, but it's not an official college. Maybe it is, but most colleges didn't really teach it back in 2007. SEO and digital, they kind of touched on it, but they didn't really touch on it too deep. So, but it does teach you a lot about business in general. But for what I'm doing, it didn't really help out too much because my first job, they said, don't worry if you don't know anything about SEO, we're going to take you to classes, workshops, and learn alongside with you. So it's a lot of reading, watching videos, jumping in forums, and just learning as much as I can on my own.
Okay. Okay. And when you first got into SEO, what sort of challenges did you face? Did you have any specific struggles?
Oh yeah, definitely had tons of struggles of what is SEO, how does Google work, how do I research these keywords, how do I rank websites, what keywords do you want to use, how do I build backlinks, what are backlinks? I didn't know any of this stuff, so it was all just learning from the beginning. I had to try to figure everything out, step by step, piece by piece, and just trying to figure out what works and just reading up as much as I can, talking to other people that are doing digital marketing and trying to get their opinions, their point of views, their perspectives of what they think works, what they think doesn't work, and just trying to test it all out and implement it and then see, does it work? Does it not work? But it's all about testing and trying things out.
And you also have a YouTube channel and you also provide courses as well. So is this kind of where you display a lot of your tests and maybe show people what's the best route to actually take?
Don't really do testing on there, but I show them step by step what needs to be done on pretty much every topic. I've not every, but majority of the topics, like how to do keyword research, how to build backlinks, how to optimize your website, how to do. I can talk about like social media. I talk about Google Analytics. I have a class on Google Search Console, and class on running paid ads on Google, and done a bunch of them and just threw them all up on YouTube for free, so anyone can watch it anytime. All my classes that used to be paid classes, they're all up there for free. So if anyone wants to learn, they could always just dive into my YouTube channel by searching my name and find all those classes up there for free and learn step by step how to do it. Don't really show the testing because the testing probably not the most entertaining thing to watch, but showing them what to do is going to help them hopefully implement some of those strategies onto their own website and watch their website start growing.
And when it comes from people who sort of learn from you, did you ever have any sort of students that ended up becoming very good?
Probably, but I don't stay in touch with all the students because I have so many people that watch my classes. Most of my videos have a couple thousand views, and doing them and I don't know who watches my videos on YouTube in person. I work with people, but usually it's just a day or 2 day class, and then after that, just let them go on their own. But some people have gotten back to me saying, "Yeah, I started my own company and been doing it ever since," but they still come to me to help them out sometimes for advice and tips, like kind of like mentorship for them. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly who succeeded or who hasn't because I've had so many people come to my classes over the years, probably thousands, tens of thousands. Like each class I would do usually gets 100 people in person, and I would do them once or twice a month. Been doing them since 2013. Haven't done them in person in a while because unfortunately you can't do them in person where I live, but hopefully soon we can get that back going because I do prefer in person versus Zoom. It's a little more personable, less strange kind of feeling.
Okay. And when it comes to the services you provide, you know, you also have something called reputation management. What is that?
That one is just like I could rank websites. I could also push websites down and hide stuff. So if someone like got a DUI, there's websites that pull everyone's mugshots and post a page about them and optimize it really well for their name. So if you search for your name, that DUI picture will pop up at the top of Google, and most people don't want that stuff appearing. So just like I can rank websites, I can also push websites down by creating new content, creating new websites, and essentially ranking 10 new websites on that first page of Google to push that negative one down, which I usually try to avoid reputation management because a lot of times it's people dealing with weird, shady things, and I don't want to get involved with that. But sometimes it's like, oh, someone got a speeding ticket. They took a picture of that person and they threw it up online, and now anytime you search for that person's name, that ticket appears. So we want to kind of hide that stuff.
Well, that's super interesting. I didn't even know SEO optimizers did that. Wow.
Yep. So just like you can rank websites, you can push websites down and kind of hide them.
Okay. Okay. And what about press release? What about that?
Well, it's just a way to build backlinks. So PR is just a way to get backlinks. Everything really ties down to backlinks for what I do for the most part. Writing articles, doing press releases, blogging. It's a lot of content marketing for SEO. And a press release, you publish a press release, and in that press release is usually a clickable link that points back to your website. So you get a backlink and you get some visibility and exposure.
Okay. Okay. And what do you think, what's the problem that most people in digital marketing make? What do you think that issue is?
Trying to be everywhere, but you
Mm.
have to be in front of your audience. A lot of people have to think they need to be everywhere, which is not necessarily true. I mean, it's good to have a presence everywhere, claim your username on all the different platforms so no one can steal or kind of hoard your name and make you pay for it in the future. But being active on the platforms where your audience is number one. And a lot of people just try to be everywhere or don't know where to be and jump on like Facebook when Facebook is not necessarily the best place to find leads if you're like a dentist or a lawyer or something like that. So just trying to get people or get businesses in the right places so people can find them.
Okay. Okay. And when it comes to sort of key pieces of advice you would give to other SEO optimizers, what would that be? Or even
Probably
just regular entrepreneurs?
just be patient with SEO. It takes time. It's not immediate, unfortunately. So if you want that quick visibility and growth, you can run paid ads, but SEO is a long-term strategy where you're building it up, building it up, building it up. It's not just immediately going to get you that traction. You have to put the time in and eventually you'll start moving up. But a lot of people kind of get discouraged, give up right away when they don't see that traction, but you got to keep pushing it and growing it. And you'll see over time, you'll start slowly growing. It's not just immediate. I mean, sometimes you might go viral and explode, but most of the times it's that slow growth. But as long as you keep working at it, you'll see that growth and traction keep coming in.
Now, speaking of growth and traction, your website definitely was a big component to your growth, right? Or no? Because you said
Mhm.
you mainly use Google to draw in people.
Well, do a bunch of different ways to get traffic, but the website is your portfolio. It's your resume. It's your way to let people know that you actually know what you're doing, but also ranking for my for keywords helps people find me. But classes get me a lot of people in the door, and Yelp and all these other places, other strategies I have, email marketing, running paid ads, doing social. So you want to do it all. You don't want to just focus on one thing. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. You want to diversify, try to get traffic as many different places as possible because you never know what's going to happen. Maybe Google's going to change their algorithm tomorrow and they make a big change where they're just like, we don't like any of the stuff that you're doing, which is not likely to happen, but more likely is like Facebook. You might have put all your eggs in Facebook or like focused heavily on Instagram, one of these platforms, and then maybe they took you down or you're not getting that visibility and that the reach that you used to get. So you want to try to get traffic from as many different places as possible. The more traffic sources you have, the better off you're going to be because you don't want to just rely on Google or rely on Facebook. You want to rely on everything. Ultimately, build up an email list because all that you can control.
Now, yeah, while I do respect that idea that you align everything, can we maybe go into the idea of, what the purpose of your website is for? So, step by step, could you maybe run us through each page? This way we could give you some more exposure on one of your many mediums here, if you get what I'm saying.
I probably have like 500 or 1,000 pages. So the more pages you have, the more keywords you can optimize for, the more
Mm.
opportunities you have to rank for different variations. Like you don't want to just have a one-page website. You have to have multiple pages. That's why blogging became popular. Is blogs are a way to just add more content to your website because each page can only target about 3 to 5 keywords. So if you want to rank for more words or keywords, you have to create more pages and you got to create more content. But the website really is just a portfolio or a resume, kind of letting people know here's what I've done in the past. You could see testimonials, you could see reviews, you could see that I rank for a lot of these keywords, or you could even search on Google and hopefully find me by searching for like SEO company or SEO classes or whatever keywords you may be searching for, but trying to draw new traffic in and then just letting them know that you're a real business.
Now, I hear that quite a bit. Everyone says, Google loves, active websites. They don't like static websites. Do you think that that old saying is true?
Definitely. Google wants to make sure that you're still a real business. Like, let's say you're a restaurant and Google hasn't seen you update your website in a year. Google might say, all right, are you still in business? Because you should probably be updating your restaurant with some details or updating your website with some content. So to Google, if you don't update your website in a couple of years, they kind of think that, are you still a business? Are you still around? So updating your website, you would just add like a sentence to your website. That's enough for Google to see that's been updated. So you don't have to redo, revamp, and rebuild your website, but as long as you keep it active, keep it updated. And that's why blogging became popular a while ago, because blogs are an easy way for business owners to update their website without having to be tech savvy or no coding. You just write a blog post, upload to your website. That's new content, shows Google that your website's still active and that you're still posting and that you're still in business.
Do you think every website should have a blog?
Well, if you want to rank for new keywords, you should have a blog. But if you're not trying to rank for more keywords, then you don't need it. But blogging is really important for SEO. Not blogging on my own website, but more importantly, blogging on other people's websites to get those backlinks. But keeping your blog active keeps Google coming to your website to reevaluate it, to read all the coding again, re-index it, update their algorithm, and hopefully rank you higher or rank you for new keywords because now you're tapping into new topics that potentially you didn't write about in the past on your website. It's a new way to get that new traction.
Okay. Now, folks, again, anyone here, this man has literally been in the SEO optimization business for about 14 years now. So, my question here is, has there been any change in SEO optimization lately? Have you noticed any shift?
Yep, they change all the time. Every day, Google's changing the algorithm. No one really notices those little slight changes, but every few months they do a big change. But yeah, I've seen it change too many times, hundreds of times probably, their algorithm, like big changes, but it's constantly changing. That's one thing about digital is there is no constant. It's always evolving and changing, and especially Google and social, they're always changing.
Really? So, when it comes to all of this, and you're working in SEO all the time, who is do you have any types of people that you maybe try to emulate, replicate off of, or get motivation from, or do you think all of your knowledge just comes from you and your own experimentation?
No, I would read up in forums. I don't know who these people were. They just had usernames. But I mean, nowadays there's a lot of like YouTube channels with people's names on it. So you look at like Matt Diggity or someone like that, where they've been doing it for a while as well. But it's just testing things out because whatever you read online, you can't trust it. So whatever you read, you got to try it out, test it, see if does it work or does it not work? Because just because someone says it works doesn't necessarily mean it works. Or it might have changed where it used to work last week. Google changed their algorithm and it no longer works. So you got to really test. But There's a lot of people I looked up to over the years, like Bruce Clay, like the original starter or founders of SEO, or coined the term and built his name up there. But it's just trying to look at other people and talk to other people in your industry and get ideas of what's working, what's not working, and bounce them off each other, because ultimately we're all trying to be Google. So we're all kind of on the same team, even though we're competing against one another, but we're all trying to figure out Google.
That's an interesting thing right there. You think other SEO optimizers realize that too?
Hopefully, yeah. I'm not sure, but they should hopefully realize that you got to help one another out, that we're all competing against Google, unless you have a client that's a competitor of another SEO company. But for the most part, most SEO companies, they're probably going to have a lot of overlap with clients. So they're not going to release all their secrets, but they'll give some tips and advice and help each other out a little bit, but they don't go too deep unless it's like more one-on-one, because you don't want to put stuff out there on the internet, because Google's going to read all that, see what's working, and probably change their algorithm, because they don't want you to do SEO. They want you to run paid ads, because that's how they make all their money.
So would you recommend people not to engage in paid ads? Do you have a problem with Google ads?
No, paid ads work. It's just once you stop running the ads, you disappear. But they definitely work. It's just once you stop doing them, you're gone. With SEO, you stop doing SEO, you're not just going to disappear. Over time, your competitors are going to do more SEO than you've done and outrank you, but you're not just going to disappear immediately. And that's the one downside about the ads. But the ads do work. It's just making sure you get a positive return on your investment, making sure that wherever you spend on to get a lead, you're going to make that back, and make sure that you make more than that back. If not, then you got to cut those ads out, because the ads can be expensive. And sometimes you're not going to get that return on your investment, where you might say, all right, I'm not getting the ROAS that I was looking for. Maybe I should cut these out because I'm just bleeding money. But they do work if done properly.
And when it comes to some of these things that you do, what companies do you think works best with SEO versus just plain ads?
Well, anyone with little competition, because with SEO, we're not trying to beat Google. We're just trying to beat those 10 websites on that first page of Google. If you don't have any competition, it's easy to rank on Google. If you have a lot of competition, it's going to take a lot of time. Like if you're a restaurant in Los Angeles, a lot of restaurants, a lot of competition. There's only 10 spots on that first page of Google, 3 spots on the map. So if you're not on that there, you're not going to be getting that visibility and exposure that you want. But let's say you're a restaurant in some small, obscure town, less competition, it's going to be a lot easier to rank. It's going to be a lot quicker to rank organically with the SEO. So it just really comes down to the competition. That's all that matters, is who is your competition, how much SEO have they done, how much SEO have you done, and how can we fill that gap and make sure that you're at that same level as your competitors, which really comes down to building backlinks.
As an SEO optimizer, can you ever make any promises?
Yeah, I could get you more traffic. Can't guarantee keyword, because the way that Google works is I'm searching for a keyword and you're searching for a keyword. It's going to be slightly different because of our geolocation, our past browsing history. If you're on mobile, if you're on desktop, if you're on Chrome versus Safari versus Internet Explorer versus Opera, all these different things are going to go into their algorithm. So it's in the past, when I first started doing SEO, it's like if you rank for the word like Italian restaurant Los Angeles, anyone searching for that keyword, you'd be number one. Nowadays, if you search for Italian restaurant Los Angeles, you're probably not in LA. It's not going to be the same results as when I'm searching. Or if I'm in Los Angeles, if I'm in different areas in Los Angeles, it's going to change the results up. So guaranteeing specific keywords, you can't really do that now, but guaranteeing more traffic from Google, targeted traffic that's related to your business, I could definitely guarantee that. But keywords have just changed so much over the years. And nowadays, half the keywords that are searched in Google are brand new searches that Google's never seen before because of cell phones. Because you can do voice search, you're just talking to your phone. It's a whole different type of search. Instead of typing into Google, Italian restaurant in Los Angeles, you could say, where is the best Italian restaurant in Los Angeles? So it's a whole different type of search. So settings now on Google understand the human language, more like AI, semantic web, things like that.
And being the senior SEO optimizer that you are, do you have sort of a community of SEO optimizers?
I join groups, forums, talk to other people in my industry. So definitely try to connect with others, because the more we can bounce ideas off one another, the better off we're going to be. The more we're going to learn, because there's only so much I could do. Maybe someone's thought of a strategy that I've never thought of, and it might work. So it's all about just getting creative and networking with other people in your industry and finding other people that do search engine optimization and seeing what's working for them.
And, just curious, but where do a lot of these SEO people hang out? Because I know coders in general hang out maybe in a few certain websites. Is there sort of a website exclusive to SEO optimizers?
No, there's tons of websites exclusive to SEO, especially nowadays. There's so many different blogs like Search Engine Journal, Search Engine Watch, Search Engine News are all pretty big websites for learning about SEO. But forums were good when I first started getting into SEO. Maybe they're not as big as now as they used to be. Facebook groups seem to be really big nowadays, but it's just, again, trying to take a step back as an SEO person. Where would other people that are doing SEO be? So just like as a business owner, you want to take a step back, think about where people will be looking for your product or service. Doing SEO, I want to figure out like where are other people that do SEO going to be? And sometimes it's a little tricky, but usually you can find those. Once you find one spot, you can find a bunch of other places.
This has been, this has been an excellent interview. And just before we end off this interview, I have a few more questions here to ask you. Just a concluding thing here. Well, this is the first concluding question. How do you think businesses as a whole can improve their SEO optimizing skills now, even though they don't have maybe 14 years of experience like you do?
They could just read up, learn, watch podcasts, listen to podcasts, watch YouTube videos, read articles, read blog posts, and implement. Don't just read, because most people never take the next step and actually implement the strategies that they learn. Most people just read and read and read, which I was guilty of. Still am to this day, where you just get sucked in, but you have to actually implement those strategies that people say. Don't just read it, try them out.
Okay. Are there any final words you'd like to kind of say to the audience?
I mean, if you're a business owner, get a mentor. Those really help out a lot. It's helped me grow over the years, is getting mentorship from other people and learning from what's worked for them, what hasn't worked for them. And that's helped tremendously. And I always recommend to all business owners, get a mentor, because it's going to help you save a lot of time, a lot of headaches, and probably save you a lot of money on strategies that aren't really going to pay off in the long run. But there's a lot of places to get mentors. It's just finding a mentor that's good for you. It's going to really help out and take your business to the next level.
Okay. Well, thank you again. Really appreciated this interview.
Thanks for having me on today.
All right. So just to kind of end this off, everyone, just a few shout outs here. LifeWork Systems. This is our affiliate and collaborative partner. And she's basically an HR superstar working in large businesses to improve their HR infrastructure and overall improve the business as a whole. Now, next thing we have to talk about is, if you could look to the upper right corner, we have a YouTube channel. Subscribe to us now. And we also have a Roku channel as well. This will be on Roku TV as well as our other episodes as well. Okay, so again, I'm Jimbo Paris. This is the Jimbo Paris Show. Thank you for listening to the Jimbo Paris Show.